veggies.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the vegetable stock.
And what sort of base did you use?
Oh, that's all I use.
Okay. Have you heard of Herbie Mare?
Yeah, I have. I got some of that.
Yeah, that, I mean, for a lot of my stuff, apart from my curries, but for my soups and things like that, it's pretty much I just use Herbie Mare.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So how much soup did you make? Like how big was your pot?
Oh, the pot's it's just a slow cooker pot.
Okay, so be about 5 or 6 litres?
Yeah, you know the little tubs of butter you can get for 500 grams?
Yeah.
I've got those. Like when I was eating butter, I saved all those for my freezing stuff.
Yep.
And I've got 14 of those with about 1 cup in each one.
Okay, yep. Because, I mean, I reckon for probably about, if you're making a full slow cooker, you probably need at least a full teaspoon of Herbie Mare for flavour. Yep, you still there, Steve?
Yeah, my little alarm come on for me 6 o'clock tablet. I've already taken it.
Yeah.
Good at that with an alarm.
What else was I going to say? Also, do you saute your onions first?
I didn't use onions.
Okay, because when you use onions, the longer you cook, so when you're cooking onions, you have the pan really quite hot to start with, and then you put the onions on, and then the onions take the heat out of the pan. And you just fry it up for a bit at not a super high heat, but relatively high, and then turn it down, and then just cover you stir it occasionally, and then just cover the onions. And the longer you cook onions, the sweeter they get. So, I mean, when I'm doing a curry or a soup base, depending on time, of course, but I will try to cook my onion for at least half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and if your slow cooker doesn't have an adequate saute, which not all of them do, just cook it do the onion in a pan first.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that better you can see me now.
Yeah, I can see you now.
Yeah, what I've got is I've got a Breville pressure cooker saute, so I can turn it on actually fry over.
Hi, Christine. Can you see Christine? Can you guys see each other?
No, I can see you, but I can't see Christine.
Can't see Christine. I can't hear you, Christine. Can't hear you. Nah. That might be better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, got you now.
Yeah, here. Oh, there she is.
There she is. Yeah, I think the person who's talking ends up on the screen.
Yeah. I think you can change it as well, because I just went on the right side on my iPhone. Now I can see you all.
Yeah, well, I can see all of you because I think I host it. It's a bit different. I don't know. You're in pajamas. So am I underneath. I have pajamas. I'm like, this is cool, this home
Yeah,
stuff.
pajama on, yeah.
Have you got your pajamas on, Steve?
No, I got my see my I got a visitor.
You got your devil worshipping shirt on. Oh, what's that? The devil.
Who's that? Who's visitor?
That's my phone. It moves around by itself.
Oh.
Oh, funny. I think you might be getting a bit lonely, Steve.
That's friend the other corner, Sam.
Oh, good. How you going, Christine?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. All fine, all well.
Good.
Yes.
Can definitely see weight loss in your face.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost about 4 kilos now.
Yep. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, very happy.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
And how's all your food and stuff going?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So since we started, we haven't wasted any food. This is the best thing out of the whole thing. So
Yeah.
because I don't know, every week I had to throw out some sort of food from the fridge that went off, or we didn't use, or I didn't use. So that's that. I really like that. So we haven't wasted any food because we're planning a lot better on what to cook and what to buy. So we plan like the meals really ahead, and then really we buy those ingredients what we plan to cook, and it really works.
It works. Yeah, because do you cook, do you shop weekly or daily or every few days?
Usually weekly.
Weekly, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. How about you, Steve? Do you shop weekly or daily or?
Normally shop probably every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, okay. Just by a small amount?
Just a small amount, but if I get too much, my fridge is only so big, so I only go so far.
Yeah.
Anything fresh, I can
Okay.
add to it, like a salad, I'll just go and buy what I need.
Yeah.
And cut it up when I come home.
Yeah.
But all the base stuff which I add to, like might put a roast pumpkin or even a microwave pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I make that, and I just have it cut it up like steaks.
Yeah.
And I have it as it is.
Yeah.
But I eat the skin as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I eat the skin as well with pumpkin. Even in soup, I just put the whole thing in. So, yeah, okay. And Christine, you were saying about wasting, and I'm interested to why do you think it's so different? Planning, but why? But I'm wondering, you still would have been planning before, wouldn't you? So I'm wondering, is there another difference? Is there something else that's changed it?
No, I think probably I planned it before as well, but I was not 100% sure what I cooked. So I felt like I went shopping and I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this and this and this, and then I didn't end up making it.
Yeah.
So, but now I think Christian is a really good help there as well. So because he's very good. Oh no, let's make this, and then we buy this, and I don't know. I think it's better planning actually.
Yeah.
On the meals what we're really cooking, and I used to have like, oh yeah, I had something in an idea. I want to make this, but didn't make it then.
Yeah.
And this was all my life really, so I wasted a lot of food.
Oh, myself included, wasted a lot of food. Do you think that there's a part to play in that fruit, plant food lasts, or maybe you trust it lasts longer than animal products? So maybe you might eat a pumpkin that's been in the fridge for 4 or 5 days, but you might not eat a piece of steak?
Yeah. That could be. Yeah, definitely. Like any of those processed foods, like, like I used to buy, like I just say like any like spreads or dips or something, and I started them, didn't finish them. So now I have found a really good recipe to make like this bean dip, which we use instead of ketchup, and we finish that all the time because we love it so much. It's so because we feel like, when you eat that, it's actually really good for you. So it's not like tomato sauce that's with sugar and everything. So we eat that, and because it's like, we know it's really good for us too. So we haven't wasted anything, and less processed foods, definitely. Yeah.
So have you noticed that your shopping bill is less?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots,
yeah. And do you too, Steve? Have you noticed that your budget is better?
Yeah, well, my budget improved by about, I get paid every 2 weeks, and I only get probably around about $600 and something.
Yep.
Well, this week I ended up, I think I saved about $200 out of it.
Wow. And that's amazing. So before that, would you have saved any or less or none?
I was going okay until I was helping my friend get smoked and that, and I put my foot down and said, "No, I'm not buying any more crap. You got to buy it yourself."
Mm.
So now I'm not buying her stuff. I'm saving money, and she's talking to me, so I don't care.
Good. Yeah. Well.
She told me I was turning into a vegetarian or a vegan, and she told me that if you keep eating like this, you're going to lose me as a friend. I said, well, if you're going to think what I eat is our friendship, I said, well, you made the choice, not me.
Yeah, it can be a pretty touchy subject for people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I've changed it to some. I've got to eat healthier than what you used to eat, so it's not too bad. I just eat what I like, whole foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, good. I was sort of just going, maybe questions today or any problems or things that you want to know that I can maybe help or find out for you and then flick you an email. Is there any things that you want to know or need to know?
Yeah, where do I find the shopping list on the site?
They came through on the emails. I don't think it's on the website. We've been having, because I'm not very computer savvy, so we've been having quite a lot of problem with the website, Steve, but I believe that Power's only just had a meeting with the website guy who's fixing it all up. So, but I thought that the shopping list came out like weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah.
So do you just want me to resend it to you, long story short?
I got the shopping list and I wrote it down. It's got all the your pantry or your veggies. I got all that.
Yeah. What are you looking for then?
I just want to know how much do I buy.
Well, that'll depend on what you're cooking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I vary sometimes. I want to cook something else. And I got everything apart from one ingredient.
One ingredient. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll try to answer what I think you might be asking, and then you can, if I get it wrong, you can help me too, Christine. So the things that are for us anyway in our house that are staples.
If I put them stable, I can mix with and shop around and change it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got all different lentils. So I've got red lentils, green lentils, yellow lentils, putty lentils. And then I've got white rice, brown rice, barley, quinoa. What else? I think that's all in the grains. Beans, I've got canned black beans, dry black beans, canned chickpeas, dry chickpeas.
Yeah, I've got all.
Beg your pardon?
I've got most of those.
Yeah. So then the perishable things that how I plan is I shop probably for veggies 2, maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But always in my pantry, I've got pumpkin, sweet potato, potatoes, onions, garlic, ginger. I buy ginger and I chuck it in the food processor and just chop it all up really fine and I freeze it. Sometimes I do it with garlic, but it's really time consuming to do that because you've got to peel it all. It takes a good hour to peel bulbs and bulbs of garlic. So garlic I just tend to do as I do it. So I find that those, I'm trying to think what else, flax seeds, but again, I freeze them, I grind them up and freeze them. I've always got bread, nearly always got bread in the freezer done. So they're the things that are in like my pantry staples. And then vegetables, I tend to cycle my vegetables. So I'll get, cruciferous vegetables, which are broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, things like that, that family. So we sort of eat a few days and we eat those vegetables. Sometimes I cook them, sometimes we eat them raw. And then the next time I do a load of veggies, I will then tend to get maybe kale, watercress. I love watercress. Have you tried watercress, Christine?
No, I haven't really. No.
Love it. Really, really tasty. Both cooked and raw. So, and it's full of goodness. Really, really good. And it's really quite economical because it's sold in, it's like a big bunch of, it's as tall as a tall spinach, but it's much thicker. It's got a lot more bush to it. So it's like strands. It's like really, like almost maybe the old wheat strands. So it's just skinny strands of this green wheatgrass, and we just eat the whole lot. You just chop it right down to the end. Mm-hmm. And then in the freezer, I've always got frozen peas and corns and edamame beans, because that's my main source of protein would be edamame beans. Edamame beans, broad beans, again, they're really high in protein. And tofu. I've always got tofu in the fridge because that lasts for ages, and you can freeze tofu as well.
Do you make that yourself? Or?
No, I haven't yet endeavoured to do that. I just don't have the want or the time, I don't think, yet to do it.
Where do you buy it from?
I just get it from Woolies, Steve.
Oh, yeah, just in the corner there.
Yeah. I get the, I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, but I'll take a picture and I'll flick it to you.
Yeah.
So I did try it from Aldi's once. I didn't like it as much, but that's a taste thing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what else of that thought just left my brain in and out. So, I just get the Woolies one. And when I'm cooking tofu, I will, depending on how many people I'm cooking for and how many nights, I will chop it up and then I put it in a flat tray. One of the most important things, which I didn't know at first with tofu, is you've got to drain it.
Yeah.
So I get a cake, a cake cooler. And I put a bit of paper towel, put the tofu on it, then put a big plate on it, and then put a full kettle on top of it. Yeah. And it sits like that for an hour, because otherwise it won't soak up the marinade. Yeah. And then mostly when I marinate tofu, I just use the Herbie Mare, Steve.
Yeah, because I like the taste of Herbie Mare. I like all my veggies. I normally microwave it in the microwave in a dish.
Yep.
And then I use the Herbie Mare on top and just. I can eat it, you know.
Yeah. And it's really, it's almost chickeny. Not that I can even really remember what chicken tastes like now, but that's sort of what it's probably the texture as well, maybe.
Yeah, it's very, I like tofu as well.
Did that sort of answer your question, Steve? Or
yeah, it did answer. Because if I do you use what sort of tofu? Is it hard, semi, or semi-hard?
Yeah, I tend to buy. I would say we eat pretty much the same thing, but I think most people do that. But I find the hard tofu is more, it's more firm, it's more meaty, if I say that word. It's got more consistency to it.
Got a bit of body to it, yeah.
Whereas the soft tofu, I mean, I haven't made it for a while, but the soft tofu, the silken tofu is good for dressings, and it's also really good for, what's it called? Big brain. Like a fritter?
Okay.
Have you tried that yet, Christine?
No, I haven't actually.
Really? No. I'll write that down and I'll forward you both a recipe, because I grate up a heap of potato. So you grate up however much potato you need to coat a tray.
Yeah.
First, again, you've got to drain it as much as you can. So I put it in tea towels and just wring it out till it's as dry as it can be. And then you just pack it in really tight into whatever container. Or, Steve, if you wanted to make singular ones, you could use a cake tin or cupcake tins. And then you just get the silken tofu, chuck it in your blender, chuck in whatever you want in it, and then line it, stick it in the oven, done. Really, really tasty. And if you're someone who likes cheese, I'm not a cheese person, but if you're someone that likes the cheese taste, you can just put through it nutritional yeast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in saying that, just chuck it in. If you're going to put onion in it, which onion adds a real nice flavour to things, you want to fry that first. You want to fry that. Pop it in the oven and it comes out, as long as you got the potato dry enough, it comes out like a base. It's like a hard quiche.
Yeah.
So, and you can freeze it because it's tofu. So you could make it and then chuck it in the freezer. So yeah, that's something. I don't make it very much because it's fiddly. So I'm not really much of a fiddly cooker, I would say. So just every so often. So yeah, like I made pies tonight. So say this week I made up, at the beginning of the week I made up I'm trying to think. It's a big pot of, God, my words aren't working for me, pumpkin masala today. So I'm on the beginning of the week I made up a big pumpkin masala, and then one night we have it with rice, the next night we have it with bread, and then the next night I think it was rice or fried rice. We had it with fried rice from the rice previous that had dried out, so I fried it up, and then tonight I made it into pies.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hey, Powers. Yeah. I'll go show you a pie. Bring a pie. He's probably already got it in his mouth. Did you hear that? He said, can he eat one now? No. No, you can't.
Don't call me that.
Don't say that. Oh, my God, you got the beers. Can you see the pie? You can't really see it.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Oh, looks good.
Here you go, Steve.
Hey, God.
There you go. Christine.
Hi, how are you?
It's for you tomorrow.
No worries.
So what is the base with, Christy, that pie? Like
You mean the actual base?
Yeah, like the base. Yeah, like
pastry. Just pastry.
What pastry?
I get pastry from Woolies.
Okay.
Yep, I'll have a look. I'll write it down now. I'll have a look at the one I get and I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, that would be great, because I've been looking for something like a pastry type of thing.
I love pastries. That's why I don't make it very often, because I mean, I had already had dinner, because I like to eat dinner quite early, like 3 o'clock if I can. So I still managed to jam in the end of, the thick bits at the end of the. So yeah, don't want to have it too much in the house too often. So yeah, I will get that for you and I'll flick it to you tomorrow.
Awesome.
So you've
Yeah,
got
can I talk with that too?
Yeah. I'll do that as well. And so with my pies, which you may well know, you can make them and freeze them, because I will tend to make things in bulk and freeze them. And I had some leftover pastry. So in the freezer, I had some containers with sausage roll mix, which is just the lentil loaf mix.
Yes.
So when I make up the sausage roll mix, I have the lentil loaf mix, but then I just pull some aside and I chop up some extra veggies and put it through there. So it's sort of like a pastry, a Cornish pastry.
Like a pasty.
Pasty, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So it's I've really probably only got the curry mix that I use is the same curry mix for all of my curries. But I change it by adding more onions, makes it sweeter, or I add tomato to it. Or coconut cream to it, and then I change it again by either making it with lentils or beans, or last week we had potato curry, and then this week we had pumpkin curry. So it's really, I find that, I mean, to me it just makes it really easy because it's the same base for heaps of different meals. And then like we just saw then you've even got like pastries and things like that you can have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have you got much freezer space, Steve?
I've just got a 320 litre fridge, and I've got the top section, probably 40 litres.
Okay.
In the top, so.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking for a substitute for eggs.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I've tried to make like this, like this kind of meatballs without meat, obviously, or burgers, and it always was just a mesh. It never held together, never.
Okay, so you're talking about eggs for binding.
Yes, for binding.
Okay, easy peasy. Easy.
Binding.
Flax seeds.
Okay.
Flax seeds. So if you get flax seeds, I would advise you to buy whole flax seeds and keep them whole, because once you grind them up, they don't last very long.
Yep.
So once you buy them in the seed and then grind them up. So I grind them up and I fill up about 3 or 4 of those little like Asian takeaway containers, and then I put them in the freezer because they'll last in the freezer for ages. And so what you want to do, Christine, I'll just write this down so I remember to put it in the email. Yep. It's called a flax egg is what it's called. So if you get, again, it will depend on how much, but it's pretty much 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds to 3 tablespoons of cold water. Mix it around, pop it in the fridge for 10 minutes, and that's your egg. And that binds it.
Okay. And that works?
Yep, works. Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason, or the times it hasn't worked for me, is the mixtures may be too wet.
Okay.
And if I had been using eggs, it still would have been too wet.
Yep.
So that's the only thing, if it's too wet. And then if you happen to run into that where it's too wet, you could use corn flour to thicken it, like maybe you'd done in the past, or xanthium gum is another thickener as well. But yeah, the flax egg, that's what you use. That's what I use in baking. So cakes, all of that is that flax egg.
Okay.
Yep. And that is on the recipe list on the website as well, but I'll forward it to you anyway. Yeah. Okay. And when I make it, if I can be organised enough, which it sounds like you guys are, I will make it and leave it in the fridge for a day or 2. And it really gets hard. And then you can check on it. And if it's a little bit watery still, just add another tablespoon of flaxseed, give it a stir, put it back in the fridge.
Okay. Yeah. So it has then, at the end, it has like the consistency of an egg or like egg white or something. Is it like a bit sticky or something?
Yeah, it's sticky. It's like, have you ever soaked chia seeds?
Yes.
Similar to that. You can also use chia seeds as well. I just don't. But the flax egg doesn't have as strong a taste. So so the flax is what I've used, but you could use chia seeds as well. But they come out quite gluggy, where the flax egg, trying to put that into words, it almost sets, like it'll set, almost like a yogurt.
Yeah.
You stir it through.
Okay.
So yeah. And then if, say for instance, sorry Steve,
The porridge, like oats, like when you let it go, it goes solid.
Yes, yeah.
I use a lot of oats,
Yeah, Powers has it in his. I don't eat a lot of it because I don't have oats anymore. But yeah, Powers has it in his oats as well, and it's also one of a really good source of omega-3s as well.
Mm-hmm.
As well, so that's another reason for having it as well. But I just eat walnuts to get my omega-3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat breakfast very much anymore. So,
with your walnut, they have to be whole. It's going to be like slivered ones. It doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters, Steve. I'm not. It would probably, the only thing that I think would affect it is if they're old nuts.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this when I first started out, but you can freeze nuts. So, and it's supposedly, they last the longest. So now I just freeze all our nuts. I actually roast our nuts, most of them. So I buy them, roast them, and then pop them straight in the freezer and just have a smaller amount in the fridge.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So, and with the eggs too, Christine, if Christian or you, of course, or you, Steve, of course, if you used to enjoy eggs, you can do a pretty good effort with the soft tofu.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get, and when I do them, I don't do them often because I've never been a big egg eater anyway. When I do them, I will get, I'll just write this down.
Yeah.
I just get the soft tofu and a firm tofu, and you mix the two together, and then you basically just fry them up. That's about it.
Yes.
There's also a product that you can get, and it's called black salt. The only place I found to get it that's really quite a reasonable price is Coles. So it's in with all the spices. It's just a spice. So it's in with all the spices, and it's down the bottom. Last time I brought it, it's down the bottom, and it's in like a little salt grinder.
Yeah.
It's just called black salt, and it's black on the inside. And that has got an egg flavour. It's quite amazing. It's got a really, real... Yeah.
I heard about this salt. It's kind of, I'm not sure if it's from India or somewhere, or they have a special place where actually they harvest this salt. I heard about it.
Yeah, black salt. Woolies don't sell it, not that I've seen, but Coles sells it. And so it's just down the bottom where the salt and the peppers and all of that is. And it's got a really amazing, it's got a real egg taste to it. So then depending on, you could fry up some onions, or probably however you used to cook eggs.
Yeah.
And then just pop that in. And if you wanted it to be yellowy, you could add a little bit of turmeric, is what I've done.
Yeah.
Turmeric doesn't really have much of a taste to it. So if you don't put in too much, it'll be fine. So so that can be something that if you used to sit down and have an egg meal, a scrambled egg meal, you can use that.
Awesome. That's good. I want to try that. Yeah.
And then, I would a lot of recipes just suggest to use the soft tofu, but I find it's too mushy and it's too wet when it comes out. Whereas if you add, and I just roughly chop it all up so it's all, and then it gives you that more consistency of like the different sizes of eggs. Yeah. You can surprise Christian with it, Christine.
Yeah, I will not say anything.
I won't tell him.
On the weekend. I know, I'll scramble that.
I mean, I haven't tried it, and I don't even think I'm going to try it, but you can actually make like a poached egg.
Okay.
I haven't even looked into how you do that. I mean, I did have a look, but the recipe was like this long, and I just went, nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not that committed.
Yeah.
So, how's your bread baking going, Christine? Because I heard you were
really good.
Happy.
Really good. I actually managed to get hold of a spelt flour, a wholemeal spelt flour from Germany, because through my work, I got a 25 kilo bag, which is awesome because that's a lot of flour and a lot of bread. But that flour just the bread is so awesome. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
It's you can see why it's the stuff of life, can't you? It's
Yeah. I wouldn't like to actually any other bread because it's so satisfying. One slice is satisfying, and yeah, we really love it. It's so yummy.
oh, that's good.
So I added a few spices. So
Yeah.
and a few caraway seeds, and I kind of milled that up, caraway and fennel seeds and coriander seeds.
Yeah.
And then just add a little bit into that. So I really like that as well. So it just gives it a bit of different flavor, spice it up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do well to stop at one piece because I gotta eat two. That would be one of my favourite treat meals is toast and a coffee.
I know, so nice.
That's because the bread, like you said, the bread is just amazing. Like I don't eat any other. I've actually just today done my second lot of sourdough bread. So,
oh, awesome. Yeah, I want to look into that as well.
Yeah, well, it takes 24 hours from start to finish to do it.
Yeah.
But hang on a minute. Yes, husband.
Do I cut the one you've already cut?
Yes, or not the other one.
Oh, that's not for that.
No, How's just asking if you can eat the sourdough bread. So, yeah, it's the only thing is you need to be home.
Okay.
First, you've got to start a starter, and that is just a cup of flour. So you've already got your flour, a cup of flour, and anywhere from a third of a cup to a cup. Maybe start with a third of a cup, but and then add it to the flour, stir it in so there's no flour consistency left.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be really wet, but you don't want it to be too gluggy either. So just judge it. You're either going to use a third of a cup or a whole cup. Stir it in and then put it, because it's cooler, put it in your oven with the oven light on. And then every day, once a day, pull it out and take out, because it'll double in size. So take out about half a cup and then add another cup of flour and the same amount of water. And you do that anywhere from 5 to 7 days. And then that's your yeast. Then you don't have to buy yeast anymore. And it's just in the fridge. And it's got the good bacteria in it, Christine, because it's fermented food. So, and then once you've done that process, I'll flick you the recipe anyway. Once you've done that process, the starter, you only then have to feed it, what's called feed it, which is taking out some of it and then adding in some more flour and some more water once a week.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and it's a very, and then when you've done that, you then have, it probably takes 6 hours to actually get it ready or to get it out of the oven. Because it's not like the bread that you're making where we need it. So, we add the water, we add the yeast, we add the flour and the salt. We knead it and we let it rise. And then we chuck it in the oven. Whereas with the sourdough, you don't need it. It's like you stretch it. So and you only do it 6 times. So you do it 6 times and then you leave it. And then every half an hour you do that process again. Then you leave it for an hour and then you put it in the oven. So, but it's quite good. But I wouldn't do that too much, I don't think, because it's a little bit, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
But at least if you made a starter, you wouldn't need to be using yeast. Yeast
yeah. Yeah, I definitely have a look as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It's all good. Like, it's all a learning and, in getting better with all the things. So now I've made bread for like the last 3 weeks. And I think I'm getting really good at it. So, and then I want to actually have the idea already to do like a sourdough.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just really good because it's a slow change, but still fast enough to actually have the benefits, you know what I mean, from a whole food.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always something, to or try out, improve, and buy less products. Even then you don't even have to buy yeast. I'm completely with you there. Like the less you buy actually, or just the basics.
Yeah.
Then I mean you can do everything then with that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I did my shopping today and I brought soy milk, mustard, soy milk, mustard. That was it.
Yeah.
That was my shop for the week. And some weeks, of course, it's more, but that was it for the week. And I was like, wow. It's just it, and I think what you were saying, or what I heard you saying then, Christine, is it's even progressively it seems to be getting less of buying things.
That's it.
Less and less and less of I mean, even my washing powder, because I use what's it called, washing soda and bicarb. So I buy. Have you seen the washing soda, Christine and Steve?
No.
Okay, so I'll just write that down and I'll send it to you. Soda. Okay, so I'm a Woolies shopper. So in Woolworths, and it'll be similar. Do you shop in Woolies or Coles, Christine?
Usually Coles.
Okay, well, it'll be in a similar space. So in Woolies, Steve, it'll be right down the bottom because it's a cheap product. So it's right down the bottom and they're in like a plastic bag and it's just called washing soda. So I probably I've got a big 10-litre plastic container and I will, if I fill it, so I'll probably put 6 of those into it and they're about $2 each. So 6 of those into this plastic container and then 1 packet of bicarb soda. Mix it all around and then I use just a normal scoop out of like a washing powder, 1 scoop of that, and then I use a natural washing liquid. I reckon I use 20 mils of liquid when I do a full load of washing.
Yeah.
So that one I buy it's called Pura. It's got a baby's bum on the front of it or something like that in a big blue sort of juggy type thing. I reckon that one of those, I get 4 or 5 months out of one of those.
Mm.
And I would have to wash almost every day, especially in winter time. So that has just cut that shopping bill, that part down too. So our clothes are clean. They don't smell. They don't have a smell, but that doesn't bother me. They don't smell, but they're clean. Even sheets, like I still just go, wow, I'm using like a tablespoon of washing powder, washing liquid.
Yeah. So you're using from that mix, from the powder mix, you use like a scoop like that in our washing powders anyway. Yep. And then you just add a little bit of a liquid washing powder, laundry powder or laundry liquid. Okay.
Yep, I reckon 20 mils. And then if I was using a powder, in powder form, it would probably be the same, a tablespoonful. And I wouldn't use the heap tablespoon.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that might be something, Steve, if you're not cottoned on to yet too. So just to bring that bill down as well, because washing detergent is expensive.
Yeah. But I normally buy Cold Power or Dynamo.
Yeah.
One of those, it's in the 2 litre, and that'll last me for close on probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I wonder, Steve, if I'll send you the name of the one that we get, because I have a feeling that'll probably be more economical for you.
Yeah.
So I'll do that and you can then just have a look at it and see. And also with my cleaning, Christine, I sort of, over the last few years, because our house is old. So the bathroom is one of the bathrooms is really old and it gets mold in it really, really easily. Pardon me. So I was still, every other week type thing using quite a heavy heavy chemical to actually get it off, because I don't like dirty bathroom.
Yeah.
So, but then I really just I'm not going to, I don't want to use that anymore. And I've actually been using just eucalyptus oil.
Okay.
On that, and I have a laugh. I'm still laughing at myself when I'm scrubbing the bathtub, thinking to myself, no wonder these women that lived 50 years ago, 100 years ago, didn't need to go to the gym, because it's actually hard work. But
Yeah.
it cleans it up just amazingly. Really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm only using, I reckon I'm only getting like a wet cloth. I only get a wet cloth and I just tip it upside down, just a quick tip of the eucalyptus oil, and then that does the whole bath.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I rush in and I just go over the toilets and stuff like that as well. So, I mean, even I've now not washed my hair for over 2 months.
How did you do that?
I stopped washing it. But yeah, that went from, Christine, me having to, when I ate like we used to all eat, I used to have to wash my hair. If I wanted to wear it down, I would pretty much have to wash it at least the day before to wear it down. Maybe get 2 days out of it. Otherwise, I wear it up all the time. But yeah, so I'd have to wash it at least twice a week for it to be decent. And then when I changed my diet, I was like, oh, I don't need to wash it. So I was washing it once a week. And then I think it was just by accident, it ended up going 2 weeks without washing my hair. And then a couple of months ago, I just thought, I wonder if I just don't wash my hair and just see what happens. And I'm almost dumbfounded. So if my hair gets a little bit sweaty and a little bit maybe sort of greasy type thing, a bit dirty, just water. I get under the shower, water it up, and I kid you not, Christine, it's like I use shampoo.
Really?
Yep. So I now buy no cleaning products, no shampoos. I don't use deodorant. I haven't used deodorant since I changed my diet. Any of that.
Yeah.
So that even that toxic load that we have around us all of the time, it's slowly pulling those things out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I wonder, maybe, Christine, I don't know what you do with your lovely locks, Steve, but, maybe start to draw out, because you probably will go through a bit of a stage where it probably feels a bit yucky, because your hair's got to get its own natural oils coming through. But like in southern countries, in the more third world developing countries, they don't wash their hair. They just use water.
Mm.
And my hair is now really full. It's not light and fluffy and blow away like the Pantene ads, or the ads and stuff. So it's really, and I was like, wow, it's really been quite amazing. So maybe that might be something, because I do think the more chemicals we can just drag away from, we put on ourselves or in ourselves, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Anyone?
I can't think of nothing else.
No. Well, I'll sit and do an email tomorrow, and I'll forward you those things that we said, have talked about, and a few pictures in there as well, so you can see the products that are there. You don't need that, Steve. Yeah. That's really bad. Oh, something if you're going to do scrambled eggs for Christian, or if you want to do them up one day, Steve, for yourself, I would then get the firm tofu, slice it nice and thick, drain it, slice it nice and thinly, and then put Herbie Mare on it, let it sit for a bit, and then serve that like bacon.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So just serve it like bacon on top, and he'll be loving on you all day. So it's good. But yeah, I can so see the difference in your face. It's really exciting.
It's good. It is really good.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been researching a lot on, just on a lot of things, like how to make it yourself. So I found a really easy recipe to make the almond milk at home.
Yep.
With nothing else than almonds, with no waste.
Yep, just
Zero
almonds
waste.
and water, yeah?
So because I have a Thermomix, I have that for a long time.
Yeah.
So I made like this almond cream. And with that almond cream, I make my almond milk, and it works. I couldn't believe it. It's so easy and no waste and fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I saw like in the shop board ones, there's also so many ingredients in there again.
Yeah.
So to find a really natural one, they were really expensive. I thought of that's like, they were $3.50 or something. I thought that's quite a lot of money for a liter. Then I don't need a liter, in a week. I just need it sometimes. So that was a really good alternative to make it myself. Yeah. Or search for it, and that was really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean the internet is it's just amazing. We're so lucky. I feel like I'm so lucky to have that. You know, it's got some really bad things to it as well, but there's so much more accessibility to this. So it's good. Yeah. And I've actually just started maybe the past 3 weeks with sprouting.
Okay.
And I'm really enjoying that. And it's super simple. It's just getting a big jar. I just went down the salvos, got a few big jars, and then just your beans that you've got. So I just get lentils, give them a rinse, soak them overnight, put them in the jar, and then I've even just chopped the chucks up like a washing cloth, put it over with a lacky band to hold it, and then you just sit it up so it drains, and then you wash it every day, and you just sit it so it's not wet sitting in the water. Wash it till it drains, and then you've got these delicious raw sprouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full of goodness. And then I just put them on top of whatever we're eating.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I'll put that down to. That's another thing to when you've got the space and when you maybe want to have a look, because the benefits of sprouts are huge because you're eating the seed. So it's like you're eating it straight out of the garden, basically. So that's something. And that's, Steve, too, because do you know the really big, I think it's a coffee, Makona, is it? And they come in these really big pretty glass tins, jars. It's like a big glass jar. It's got to be 2 litres, I reckon, close to a 2-litre jar. So 1 cup of lentils or mung beans, 1 cup of lentils or mung beans, so a bean, overfills that whole 2-litre jar. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering for you, Steve. That'd be a really economical way for you to get your protein, and then, of course, all your minerals and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you just do them. They sit in the fridge easily for 5 days. So, and they're really quite tasty. You can put them on your oats in the morning, Steve, as well. Yeah.
What I do with my oats in the morning, I use a small banana and probably a teaspoon of cinnamon powder.
Yeah.
And I just use water with the oats, and I just cook that while I'm having the shower.
Yeah. Do you soak them first, Steve?
So I get the rolled oats from Woolies.
Yeah.
And then I just put them straight in the water, and I just cook them straight away. I don't soak them.
Okay. Maybe if you want to, because when you soak them, it's like a really creamy consistency when you do cook them.
Okay.
So like with Powers, like if you open the fridge now, he's got like 3 ready to go soaked oats with cinnamon and nutmeg and flax seeds and whatever else in there. Yeah. So that maybe might be so, and it also makes it because it's full of water, it bulks it right up.
Yeah, it does. It sort of gives a really good body to it.
Yeah, yeah. So that maybe might be something you want to try. So,
Yeah.
and
I
then
thought-
you can also eat that then raw, of course, if you wanted to cold.
I always thought you only did that with the steel rolled oats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's good. Well, it's all. Powers was telling me. I think we're done in the middle of June, this month. Towards the end of the month. Yeah. So it's like.
Really?
Yeah. Something like the end of the month or something. The competition's over. So, well, the journey's not over. But
The journey just began.
the journey's just beginning.
That's it.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm really glad both of you, it's doing you well. And I think to me anyway, it's one of those things that it's only an experiential thing. Unless you do it, you don't know.
That's it.
Because the benefits are, I still am, like I was listening to you say earlier, Christine, I'm still get astounded at some of the benefits from it.
Yeah.
Still. So it's really cool. It's really good. And would you say, I would say that the what used to be hard work in maintaining a body weight is now pretty much effortless.
Yeah. When I first started at the gym when I joined, I was 105, 110 kilos.
And what are you now? Low 80s, aren't you, Steve?
I'm 88.0.
88. Yeah.
That's good. So good. Yeah.
But I would have lost more if I was doing the right thing with my eating earlier on.
Well, you're a bit of a you're a bit of a slow learner, Steve.
I know, I sort of get into like a shark and you've got all this food.
Oh, you're there now, though. That's the main.
Well, I went past, I was driving home from my friend's place this morning. I went past Hungry Jack's and all that, and I smelled all this food. And all I could think about was like, like oxygen and all these animals dying and all this you smell the food in the bodies and stuff. I thought, nah.
Yeah. It's a pretty sad state of affairs how it's got itself into, the food system's got itself into.
Yeah, that's right.
But, I mean, I just think, man, if I can change, then anybody can do it. So, it's good. Very, very good.
Very good.
All right, well, you too. Is Christian home yet, Christine?
Yeah, he's home. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Well, you guys have a lovely evening.
Yeah.
And I'll see you on Saturday, Steve, and I might see you Saturday too, Christine.
Yeah, I will be there. Yeah.
So I've actually got a women's circle on Saturday night. Otherwise, I would have liked to have come to church with you.
Yes.
Maybe next Saturday if you're going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Because do you go every Saturday?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'll touch base. Hopefully I'll see you Saturday anyway.
Yes.
And then we'll come along with you.
Okay.
If that's okay, that is.
Yeah. Sure.
Just checking. We're coming.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sleep well.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sleep well, Steve.
Let's see ya.
See ya. See you, Christine.
See ya. Bye.